You've got our feet in Hakord arch, and you should be able to bend your knees easily. When I bend my knees track what the... And all we're going to do is isolate the waist movement. I'm not really using my hands yet, and we're just going to turn the right hip to the front. So I'm going to push the right hip forward. My shoulders stay where they are as I'm doing that motion. So it's not a motion where my shoulders turn with it. So we're going to do the same thing. Right hip forward each. Knee. So when I got 1 foot forward, I push the hip in and it just springs back. This way. So each. My back foot, I just want you to let your heel come up slightly. So my heel comes up, but my shoulders don't lean forward. So it feels like I'm doing this. Pushing my hip in. That's right, each. Knee. So when you lift the heel, you push the hip, you put a lot of weight into the front leg. It's like boom, it's like really heavy, and then back. Each. Knee, heavy. So, chin. Anything in your knee, if you feel something in your knee, you're trying to rotate too far. Cool. When I do the very first one, I have to pull my hip back and then push it in. After I do the first one, I just naturally come back. But then once we get going, it just acts as I go to the right, I go to the left. So it becomes a very natural movement, especially when you're doing combination. Now we're going to exaggerate that to get the feel for that motion. Turn my hip to the outside, bring it back, and then push it in. To the outside, back, in. So it's like a triple movement. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cue. Cue. Just to be clear, these are training ideas, methods, devices to get you more aware of what's happening. It doesn't mean that from a standing position you're going to have to move the hip 3 times before you hit. When you get that feeling of the third hip movement, I'm going to extend my back arm. So to the outside back, hip. The back heel can come up. In fact, I want you to bring the back heel up, and then the weight goes into that front foot. If I keep my feet flat on the floor, it tends to be that my spine is the center of rotation. That means half of my body is going back as half of my body goes forward. When I lift the heel, it tends to be that the front hip is the axis of rotation. So it means 1/3 of my body is going back and 2/3 is going forward, bringing that maybe more weight into the punch. I'm not even making a tense hand, because I want to get the idea that that waist movement, 1, 2, is driving the punch. Hey, outside, back. So, cheech, arch. It's almost like a little bit of a pause, and then I drop back and go. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So look, changing the timing slightly. Yeah. I'm not relaxing this part of my body. I want to, as I drive the hip in, I'm actually focusing like Sanchin. I'm pulling the tailbone up, I'm pulling the belly button in this way. So it's like, so there's a lot of connection all the way through here. It doesn't collapse back as you hit. It can help to have the back foot planted, because obviously you have a solid connection to the floor. Both ways work. And if I lift my heel, I get more rotation and more forward movement. It's okay to raise your heel as long as you keep the connection, that Sanchin connection.